Hey everyone, I'm here with Superdrug for the Dolls After Dark Halloween campaign. My look for today is going to be the GLAM goth. You've just finished work, you've got no money, no time, but Revolution's got you covered, so let's go. So I've gone a few shades lighter with my complexion using the IRL Filter foundation and concealer, and we really did some sculpting with a deeper shade of the concealer. We're going to use that same contour shade as our eyeshadow base, so we can really add the depth in from the beginning before we go in with the eyeshadow palette. So I'm going on the inner portion of the eye and the outer portion, and you do not want to be clean with this. Be as messy as possible. I'm taking a big fluffy brush and I'm literally patting. There's no precision. I'm just patting it in. And I'm really just winging the concealer up and out so we can really just pull these eyes out. We've got a really good base for that smoky eye. And now it's time for eyeshadow. So I just matched the other eye and now I'm going in with the reloaded Velvet Rose eyeshadow palette. There really is no kind of use this or use this. Just pick whatever shades take your fancy and just go super heavy, super dark, and super blown out. But I'm gonna be going with the black, the dark brown, maybe some gold shimmer on the lid, some neutral white shade to like buff everything out, but just go crazy. Now, I like to start dark to light because look at the pigment straight away. If you go straight in with a dark shadow onto a wet concealer like I have, you'll get so much pigment. So if you take away anything from this video, it's that technique. So I'm creating like a halo eye. So we're concentrating on the inner and the outer portion first and building all the depth there. So I'm using the very, very tips of the bristles and the lightest hand, and we're just smudging out the very edge of the black. You don't want to go right into the eye fold, you just want to keep it on the very tips and just smudge away. So we're going to take a mid-tone, and I'm thinking maybe like this one or this one, just a mixture. And we're going to really get the smokiness going by really blowing out the eyes, really diffusing the black, and we're just going to get really messy with it. Now, you might be wondering, do I like Halloween? And you might think so with me doing this, but the actual fact of the matter is, Halloween is kind of like an everyday occasion for me because I find that makeup is like a real point of self-expression for me, and I find that I originally started doing drag because I went through like a gender kind of dysphoria moment, and then I found my love for makeup and like expressing myself through that. So I think Halloween has become an everyday occasion, and I encourage you all to do that as well. So with the middle shade, I'm really building up the socket here, and then I'm taking it down like into my nose, and then from the front you'll have a nice bit of sculpting going on. It'll link everything together, and it just adds to the grungy heaviness of the eyes. The middle shade is kind of now your guideline for the smokiness, so you don't want to take the next layer of black that far out, or maybe you do. Just do whatever your heart desires. You want the black to be so dark and so intense, so just keep on layering. If you think you've layered enough, layer some more. Anytime that you think you're struggling or the black is taking over, because it will try to, get a clean fluffy brush and just slightly diffuse it out, and you'll just see the black will start to disappear and it'll look smooth again. So I said we were doing a glam goth, and so far we've done the goth, but we haven't done the glam. So I'm gonna take this kind of foily gold shade, which looks like this. It's so gorge. And we're just gonna finger pin the eyelid. You don't have to be neat, you don't have to be precise, just slap it on, smudge it around, you're good to go. So off camera, I just did an eyeliner on top and then a nice black gel in the waterline. Because the top of the eye is so big and so winged out, we're gonna keep the waterline nice and tight, but you don't really want it to travel too much. So I'm gonna put my mirror up here and kind of like death stare into it and just really smudge into the waterline and the lashes. And honestly, you're done. It was that easy. So I'm just finishing the eyes with the 5D Whip Lift Mascara. You want to go super heavy, and like if your lashes get super caked in mascara, that's kind of what you want. Just keep combing it through layer by layer. It'll just add to the grunginess. So we're going to move on to the lips, and we're going to start by taking the black eyeshadow and smudging right in the very center of the lip. So you can either do it by like pouting your lips like this, Or you can just open your mouth really wide and sketch the inside out. Be super messy. You could even do this with your eyes closed, like that's how messy it needs to be. You can just be like, and it literally works. Just keep smudging and blending. And you really just want to build the black up so you get a really intense layer of black in the center of the lip. And to make the lip look really lived in, I'm gonna take my finger and I'm just gonna kind of pout and push the product around and really just blend it everywhere. And then you kind of get this dark, effortless lip, but we still want to add some red and some kind of glossy lipstick on top. So I'm going to take my sponge and knocking back the black so we can blend in some of the red tones. I'm going to take the Satin Kiss lipstick in Ruby Red and Vampire and just smudge them into the mix. Now, this lip is called a snogged lip, and the reason it's called that is because you literally just look like you've kissed someone. So you just want to take it super messy and super smudgy and kind of just give it that really worn-in lid look. Then with Ruby Red, we're going to kind of highlight the top of the lip where the Cupid's bow is and a little bit at the bottom just to add more depth, dimension, and to add a bit more color into the look. I think we need more lip, so I'm gonna go back in with Vampire and just really buff in this deep purple berry shade to really intensify the lip. One thing for sure, you want this to last all night. No matter what you're doing, where you're going, this has to stay put. So we're gonna take the matte fixing spray and we're gonna seal this in. So the clips are gone and now we're going to give ourselves some devil horns. So you just kind of want to roughly go in with like a small piece towards the back of your head, clamp and roll and hold. And I kind of just hold until I feel like I've held enough. Boom, we have a horn. So I've finished curling the horns, and as you can see, they're taking their form. Now we just need to perfect it with some hairspray. So I'm gonna spray the tips of my fingers, and then you can kind of pull the hair to get it nice and refined and pointed. What do we think to the horns? Are they bringing the look to life? It's a lot, isn't it? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Oh, this is cute. If you get a piece of tissue and put it underneath the hair and then spray it, you don't get it on your makeup. Ta-da! We want this to last all night, so... And again. I'm gonna go get dressed and I'll be right back. And here is the finished look. I added a couple of accessories and way more black. And if you want to find out more or shop any of the products I use to create this makeup look, then you can click the link down below. And you can get 3 for 2 mix and match across all makeup brands.